Hey, we're back, and Watson is back here keeping us company. Oh, he's walking away. Okay, bye. Happy Wednesday, and when you see this, it will be Thursday. I only have one comic for you this week. I'm sorry, I hope you forgive me, but I'm a busy gal, and so we're just gonna talk about one DC comic. That being said, let's talk comics. So this week I have Adventures of Supersons. It's gonna be a 12, it's gonna be 12. It's gonna be a 12-issue maxi. Let's try again. It's gonna be a 12-issue maxi series starring, you know, Damian, son of Batman, and John, son of Superman, but who cares about him, and Lois Lane, my queen. I love Lois Lane. Where's her comic? Where's the justice? Anyway, she's just the wife to some super guy, Superman. She's a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist. Thank you very much. Anyway, this follows John and Damian. They're teens, they're getting into trouble, and this comic was so fun. I don't know, it had this boyish charm to it that's kind of hard to explain. You'll have to pick it up and read it yourself. I picked mine up at Coliseum of Comics on Park Street, as I always do. This one was sort of inadvertently picked by Amber. She was really excited for this one, and that was all it took for me to pick it up. John and Amber are great. You should go see them. They're a wealth of knowledge, and they can help you find something that you aren't reading, but you should be, like The Adventures of Supersons. But let's get into it. So this starts off with John and Damian getting into a little bit of trouble. They're trying to do the super thing, but they are not supervised and just teens. So that goes about how you expect it to go. But you have John being sort of the straight and narrow. He's Clark Kent's son after all, Kal-El, whatever. But he is But he's sort of the golden boy, where Damian's a little darker. He's the son of Bruce Wayne, he curses, he isn't really into sort of the nerdy jokes that John is into, so their dichotomy is very, very cute. And you can relate to it, sort of, you know, after they're done fighting this statue that's come to life, they go to their school and they have friends, and it's kind of like, you know, oh, call me about the pool party. Like, it just reminds you of being, you know, being that age, except I didn't have any cool powers and I had a lot of acne. So, you know, I also looked like this. But glow up, thank you. And it just kind of reminds me of me and my best friend growing up. She is probably John and I'm probably Damian, honestly. You know, she was a little more wholesome. She liked country music. The back of her RAV4 said country gal. You know, real cute, blonde, petite, and I was, well, I looked like this. I'll show you again. You know, a bit of a potty mouth. Great grades though, you guys. Stay in school, get good grades, dye your hair, who cares? Get the job you want. That's the moral of the story. I'm not trying to mom lecture you, but I'm just saying, I think reading this, anybody reading this can kind of relate to the differences between you and your best friend. Unless you guys are the exact same person, you're gonna have quirks that are relatable to these two characters, and that made it all the more fun, honestly. I would love to send this to my best friend so she can read it too. Anyway, this comic was fun for a lot of reasons, and it definitely had to do with the mixing of them being teens and being supers. I think that that is something interesting to look at. As I've said before, I'm always interested in the backstory of comic book characters. I'm interested in what they're doing outside of their heroing, and I'm interested in, like, you know, what kind of pajamas do you wear to bed? Like, this sort of weird, the human parts of the non-human and or super characters. Damian is human, he's just got an assassin for a mom. And I'll be honest, this is my first foray with, is that right? Foray. My first go with The Adventures of Supersons. I've seen a lot of panels about it online and stuff, and I've been like, oh, that's cute, I should read that, but then I just never picked it up. You know, when something's in the middle of a run, you don't want to pick it up. This is number one, it came out on Wednesday, so do pick it up, read it with me. But I'm not familiar with any of the bad guys who kind of exist in this world, also because I'm not a huge DC comic reader, not because I dislike DC, but just because, I don't know, I read more Marvel comics. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be better. I'm atoning for my sins. Something interesting is the naivety of these characters. Now, John and Damien go to fight some monster who's making a ruckus near the mall, because what's more teen than the mall? But they show up and John's like, I bet a dumb monster like you doesn't even know what they're doing. You might hurt somebody. But, you know, it was kind of silly for John to assume that this monster doesn't know anything. It is a fully functioning, smart, talking monster. They get into a little bit of a snafu. But I just think that that is sort of a funny, naive thing that a kid would think. And, you know, the stakes are just higher because they can fly and stuff. Plot twist, because basically the baby versions of all the bad guys that you know, kinda, show up and they're like, time to party with some gold kryptonite, which I didn't know was a thing. It might not have been a thing before this, or maybe it was. Let me know in the comment section. I'm sure you will. Gold kryptonite is supposedly supposed to suck all of the power of a Kryptonian out, so John is in trouble. Damien's in a binding situation. I'm gonna have to show you a photo so you know what I'm talking about. But the comic, as it should, ends on a cliffhanger. What's gonna happen to the boys? What's gonna happen with their summer? They're supposedly not very well supervised this summer. It looks like the Kents and Bruce Wayne are off doing something very convenient for these young superheroes. But it was really fun and almost kind of wholesome, which it was, I mean, I've had a rough week, guys, and it was really light to read, and I liked that. I will keep reading this because it was just that darn cute. I can't say it, but it's not so cute that it skims on the storyline. You're also interested in them as superheroes, just like any other superhero comic. It's just, you know, there's like a baby Joker in this, and he's cute. I want to know what's going on. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of lame to say a comic book is cute, but it is. Say cute one more time. Pick another adjective. So this was my one comic pick of the week. I hope that you forgive me. It's been a busy week, but this was a good read. Next week, I'll have 2 comics, maybe 3, who knows? But I'll see you again next Thursday. Tell them it's your comic pick of the week. See you next Thursday. Okay, he's done. Whoa, that's rude.